Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action. Today I'm here with the Empire, and I managed to pull Rigson on ladder, who's a well-known tournament player. He's playing as the Dark Elves, so we're in for a wild ride. I've got Hammer of Witches here, a couple units of Empire Knights, Archlector leading the way, heavy line of Flagellants. I'm not huge on Flagellants, but I've been having some success with them, so I decided to bring them here. We've got 4 Spearmen, a Witch Hunter, and an Amber Wizard on a Griffin. We've got some Pistoliers up front as well, 4 Rigson's Dark Elves, Sisters of Slaughter up front, Black Ark Corsairs, Sisters of Singing Doom in the center. There's a lot of Sisters of Slaughter, 4 units in total, along with the Corsairs, Supreme Sorceress, Lore of Fire, and 3 units of Dark Riders. We've also got some Harpies. And yeah, right off the bat, you can see we're doing some initial skirmishing with the Pistoliers. They're obviously going to generate some excellent value here against these light armor or high-value targets like Sisters of Slaughter. So yeah, I'm just maneuvering around with the Amber Wizard, trying to see if I can catch the Supreme Sorceress out of position, but this is potentially really dangerous. This mistake here is going to come back to haunt me a little bit. But yeah, these Dark Riders are going to do a ton of damage here to this Amber Wizard. I do manage to pull away just barely before I get fireballed right in the face. Managed to dodge the fireball, get away from the Harpies, so we're pulling away there. Meanwhile, quick hit and run charge in the front line on those Sisters of Slaughter has done some really nice damage. For the cost, these Empire Knights are going to be pretty key at taking down these high-value, low-armor female Dark Elf units. You can see the Sisters of Singing Doom just take a nasty charge there. Again, going to be very key here. So I do move these Empire Knights up, but unfortunately I'm going to sort of blunder them into spears a little bit here. And again, the Amber Wizard taking a ton of damage here in this initial phase of the battle, which is not great. That being said, Hammer and Anvil immediately on the Sisters of Slaughter as they make contact here, and then the Flagellant's going to follow up as well. We're sending in Sigmar's Sons, Flagellants everywhere. So yeah, nice rear charge here as well from these Empire Knights. Going to do devastating amount of damage, especially to the Sisters of Slaughter with their very low armor. They're just going to take some really cost-effective damage there. So far, so good. Hammer of Witches is now focused on the Dark Riders. Previously, I was shooting at various infantry units, but oof, that actually blew up one of the guns there, which is not great. Over here, I did manage to bail out the Amber Wizard from those Harpies using the Pistoliers, but unfortunately, I've got my Archlector way over here as well, which, as you'll see, is going to prove to be a little bit of a mistake. Empire Knights getting pulled off here. I unfortunately wasn't microing them super well, and they did get bogged down by the Sisters of Singing Doom, and then terrified away. This unit, same thing. I'm not microing them super well here. But, you know, we have been able to rout off a couple units of Sisters of Slaughter. Unfortunately, they do come back, and they're still quite powerful in the late game, but still, this flank is going relatively well. I'm trying to secure the Hammer of Witches crew here, but unfortunately, I'm going to completely forget about them, and they are going to get taken by those Dread Spears there, so not the best situation in the world, but Amber Wizard has come back from out. We've got a Manticore summon up. We're going to try and disrupt these Dark Riders so that I can, you know, have a little bit more time here to finish off this infantry. The Supreme Sorceress was chasing off these Empire Knights, and unfortunately, again, because my Archlector is way out of position over on this other side of the battlefield, if I had had him close by here, we could have potentially, you know, maybe juiced these guys up, come in here with the Archlector himself, got some good damage on that Supreme Sorceress, but nonetheless, these Empire Knights also completely failed to bail out the Hammer of Witches once again, which is going to be tough, but nonetheless, the Manticore is helping to chase away these Harpies here. Pistoliers moving up very aggressively, doing a ton of skirmishing for all these units here. Relatively high value, low armor, so we should be generating some great value. But yeah, unfortunately the Amber Wizard did take a bit more damage, down to 38 HP and actually shattered. So I only got the one Manticore summon off, and I actually didn't get any other spells. So really just didn't generate great value from that Amber Wizard at all. You can see that started to tip the balance power a little bit in my opponent's favor. We still definitely have a shot of coming back in here, if I can, especially if I can shut down these Dark Riders here. But we're going to maneuver these Pistoliers up and around, kind of just do some skirmishing here, try and maybe pull away these Sisters of Slaughter, then allow these Empire Knights to come in. And honestly, in hindsight, I mean, I was going after these Dark Riders a bit here, but yeah, charging in with these guys so close to the Sisters of Singing Doom was definitely a mistake, because they're going to get enraged and stuck into this combat here. Definitely should have gone up around and a little bit wider to try and get at those Dark Riders, but the one unit of Empire Knights alone isn't going to be able to do enough. Meanwhile, here, Harpies trying to charge down to interrupt the Pistoliers. They'll do some okay damage, but it's not going to be enough to finish them off by any means. Witch Hunter likewise helping to clean up some units. We did manage to clean up these Dread Spears here, but things are honestly not looking great on the balance of power at this point. Yeah, we'll see. Archlector standing in the center pocket here, buffing up all these troops. Flagellants, these Flagellants as well getting juiced up. They should be able to do some okay damage to those Sisters of Slaughter. Looks like their melee defense significantly debuffed on this specific unit from Accusation as well, so generating some good value on those Flagellants. Trying to come back in this game here. So again, if we can pick off these Dark Riders, their ammunition is going to count significantly on the balance of power. So hopefully we can try and get rid of them, but this infantry fight is eventually just going to grind down in my opponent's favor. I mean, Flagellants will do okay, but they just really don't have the staying power to hold up, especially against high DPS units like Sisters of Slaughter. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about Flagellants in the end screen here, but Archlector does manage to catch one unit of Dark Riders here, doing some good damage. This other unit of Dark Rider is going to get caught in the corner proper by Pistoliers and finished off. Over here, these Sisters of Slaughter fighting gamely, and unfortunately, again, the rear charge here, because more Dark Elf units rallying to the field, just didn't quite have enough to finish them off. They are going to get over here and start to rear charge those Flagellants, and although they will fight to the death, still not going to be amazing. So yeah, these Pistoliers coming through, doing a little bit of counter skirmishing here to these Dark Riders, but once the Dark Riders turn around, they'll do really good damage to the Pistoliers as well. Another Fireball raining in. The Fireball from that Evil Witch has just been blasting the Witch Hunter. So yeah, table's getting turned on the Witch Hunter this time. It's the witch that's burning him. So yeah, needless to say, this is going to turn out to be a defeat to Rigson. A couple of mistakes early on by me honestly cost me the game. Primarily of which obviously was losing my caster. If I'd had that second Manticore to go after, you know, infantry, help support that front line, get a big tear route and chase off some of those Sisters of Slaughter, you know, help take down the Dark Riders. Of course, having the terror from the Griffin itself, you know, the Amber Wizard itself would have been very key as well, getting good terror routes. I mean, obviously, my targeting priority could have been a bit better as well with the cannon. Losing the cannon crew is also pretty tough here. I definitely had the opportunity to keep them alive. I just mismicroed it a little bit there. But even then, like, those Dark Riders on that initial approach were pretty bunched up, and I definitely could have, you know, shot at them with the Hammer Witches rather than shooting at infantry. And because they were so bunched up, we could have done some really, really good damage and potentially dealt with the Dark Rider problem, you know, before it even became a problem. But that's kind of how it goes. Those very small micro mistakes against a high-level player like Rigson will end up costing you the game. But very well played to Rigson. You know, credit to him, playing very well. It took some tough shots on that initial approach, but just stayed calm, you know, keep his units all together, definitely capitalize on mistakes, and just, yeah, pulled through the win in the end there. Definitely probably wasn't looking great for him on that initial charge when he was taking so much damage from the Pistoliers and the Empire Knights, but yeah, that's another thing too for myself. I didn't micro my Empire Knights super well, but at this point it's just a matter of time before I'm going to admit defeat here, because I don't necessarily want to drag this out too much. But yeah, once again, very well played to Rigson. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching then, and now don't y'all say that I don't ever cast losses, because when they're cast-worthy, I certainly do. And this one certainly was cast-worthy, so GG Rigson. For myself, again, I sort of talked about my mistakes throughout the course of the battle, but yeah, Pistoliers ended up being excellent here. All started with an XP Chevron, gained one more. They're just such a good unit in this matchup, so much versatility. Personally, the Tattersouls, honestly, I think are pretty good here. Sigmar's Sons are nice. I would have probably traded these Flagellants out for just Swordsmen. In hindsight, I'd probably trade these Flagellants out for just regular Swordsmen and then use those funds to upgrade these 2 units of Empire Knights to Reiksguard, just because Reiksguard have much better melee defense. So if you mismicro them like I did there, they're going to last a little bit longer in combat. You can see they have... I guess they don't actually have better melee defense. For some reason I was thinking they do. They do have better armor, certainly. That helps. They have better charge bonus, which again helps against those nice light units. They'll do even more damage on that charge. Yeah, a little bit better leadership as well. The Zentler's Reiksguard are quite good. So yeah, obviously in hindsight, I'd probably go with something like this. Let's see. We can grab the Witch Hunter here, and let's also get the Amber Wizard. I definitely think that this build has merit, and if I had played it right, I probably could have won. But let's see here. What else do we have? The 3 Pistoliers, the 2 Regiment of Renowned Infantry, then we're just going to get a couple Swordsmen, Get some spearmen as well. And then what am I missing here? Hammer of Witches. And a second unit of Reiksguard. We're just a tiny bit short, so oof. Man, that's rough. Maybe I'll just take the Archlector on foot rather than taking him on horseback so he can just support the infantry line primarily, and then that would give me the funds to afford a second Reiksguard here. That's just going to give you a little bit more impactful shock cavalry presence. I guess you could honestly cut this second Pistolier and then maybe just take 3 Empire Knights, I guess. Or like 2 Empire Knights, 1 Reiksguard, to give you a bit more numbers there, but I don't know. Just kind of playing around with this army composition a little bit. I would definitely want to try and take a little bit more heavy shot cavalry and maybe not be relying so much on the flagellants, just because, I mean, they're okay. They'll dish out some pretty good damage, but the 10 melee defense, 0 armor means that they just take so much damage from everything. And I mean, even like throwing them into chaff units, they will still take damage. And against a unit like Sisters of Slaughter, if we go ahead and have a look here at their stats, Sisters of Slaughter have high melee defense, good melee attack, good weapon strength. They have murderous mastery, and if they get this +9 melee attack, so even additional melee attack and armor piercing damage every 15 seconds. It only recharges if they're losing. So, once they start losing, then they become even more powerful. But still, only 5 armor, which means if you can get a rear charge on them, bypassing that 59 melee defense with something like a Reiksguard or an Empire Knight, then you'll do a ton of damage, as you guys saw. But definitely like that composition from Rigson there. Definitely a lot of fun to see that kind of rush build. So hopefully y'all enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.